Hi, both. Thanks for joining us today on our Business Gurus channel, where we will be discussing key business topics to help students grasp the most important elements of their course in preparation for their exams and future career. Let's get started.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on something specific from a note you shared. It's about consumer law, but maybe the less talked about side.
Yeah, the exceptions, basics.
Exactly. When your consumer rights might not actually apply. We hear so
Okay.
much about our rights, but this is about understanding the edges, the boundaries.
Absolutely. Knowing your rights is crucial, of course, but knowing where they stop, that's just as important for being a savvy consumer, really. This source gives us a few clear scenarios.
Okay, yeah, it cuts right to it. The note lists, I think, three main times where it says a customer might have, well, it frames it as no rights.
Mm-hmm. But it's good to remember the baseline first, even if the note focuses on exceptions.
Yeah.
Consumer law generally gives you protections.
Right, that's the foundation.
Yeah, things should be, the basics, satisfactory quality as described, fit for purpose. Sometimes people use that SMART acronym, like they should last a reasonable length of time. That covers faults that were kind of inherent when you bought it.
Gotcha. So you expect that baseline standard. But then this no brings in the exceptions.
Yeah.
The first one it mentions where rights don't apply seems pretty straightforward.
Which one's that?
It's when the item gets damaged through normal wear and tear or an accident or if you've misused it.
Yes, exactly. The source is clear on this. It's not like an insurance policy for everything that happens after you buy it.
Right.
So if you drop your phone or, I don't know, use a kitchen knife to pry something open and it breaks.
Or just wear your favorite jumper until it gets holes in the elbows after years.
Precisely. That's wear and tear or accidental damage or misuse by you. It happened after the purchase because of how it was used or just time passing, not because it was faulty from the start. The source says that's usually on you.
Okay, that distinction makes sense. It's about inherent defects versus, well, life happening to the product after you own it.
Yeah.
So the second scenario the source brings up is when you, the consumer, actually knew about the fault before you even bought the item.
Ah, yes. This is all about transparency at the sale. If something's sold as, say, shop soiled or seconds, and they point out the specific scratch or dent, or it's really obvious.
Like a big crack you can see.
Exactly. And you buy it anyway, maybe at a discount because of that specific flaw. The source says you can't then go back and complain about that particular fault you already knew about and accepted.
You basically agreed to buy it with that specific problem.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You accepted that condition, yeah.
Okay. And the third situation highlighted in this note, and I think this catches people out quite a bit, is simply changing your mind. Buyer's remorse.
Yes. The source is quite firm here. We get used to shop return policies, maybe 14 days or 30 days, no questions asked.
Yeah, lots of stores offer that.
They do, often as goodwill, or because of specific rules for distance selling, like online purchases. But this source is talking about your fundamental statutory consumer rights.
And under those rights.
Under those rights, according to this material, just deciding you don't like the color anymore, or it doesn't match your curtains, or oops, you saw it cheaper somewhere else. That's generally not covered. No automatic right to return based purely on changing your mind.
That's a really key takeaway from this source material. Separating shop policies from the basic legal rights it's discussing.
Definitely.
So just to quickly recap the core points from this specific note. Your standard consumer rights don't usually cover damage from your own wear and tear, accidents, misuse,
Right.
faults you were told about or aware of before buying,
Mm-hmm.
or simply deciding you don't want the item anymore.
That sums up what this particular source is emphasizing. And, thinking about those limits it lays out, it does make you consider things slightly differently, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, if you know your rights have these specific boundaries outlined here, how might that change how carefully you check things before you buy? Or maybe how you look after them once you get them home? It adds another layer to think about in the whole buying and owning process.
Thanks to both of you for joining us today. You've been listening to the Business Gurus. Let's now hand it over to you. What further questions do you have based on what we've discussed so far? Leave a comment and we'll get back to you right away. If you haven't already, hit that follow for more business tips.